Picture this: one day you're watching the bearded genius of Gas Monkey Garage work his mechanical magic on Fast and Loud, and the next day he's gone, vanished. No explanation, no goodbye, just an empty garage bay where Aaron Kaufman used to create automotive miracles.
To quote Stevie Nicks, I think I have to go my own way.
For years, fans have been asking the same burning question: what really happened to the man who could transform rust buckets into rolling masterpieces? Today, I'm going to reveal the shocking truth behind Aaron's mysterious exit from Fast and Loud and what he's been building in secret ever since.
My vacation from Gas Monkey is going to be a permanent one.
Trust me, what you're about to discover will completely change how you see this automotive legend. I've uncovered details that even die-hard fans don't know. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Aaron's post-Fast and Loud journey is actually more impressive than anything he ever did on television. Aaron Kaufman wasn't just another mechanic on Fast and Loud, he was the heart and soul of every build that rolled out of Gas Monkey Garage. While Richard Rawlings handled the business side and the cameras, Aaron was in the trenches, turning impossible dreams into roaring reality. His thick beard, quiet intensity, and almost supernatural ability to resurrect dead vehicles made him a fan favorite, and the secret weapon behind GMG's success. But in 2017, everything changed. Without warning, Aaron walked away from the show that made him famous, leaving behind millions of viewers and a partnership that seemed unbreakable.
A bit more of a normal timeline. I don't feel the need to deliver cars every couple of weeks. I would like to build a couple things at my own pace.
The automotive world was stunned. Rumors flew, theories emerged. Some said it was money, others claimed it was ego. But the real story? It's far more complex and fascinating than anyone imagined. Today, we're diving deep into the untold story of Aaron Kaufman's transformation from reality TV star to independent automotive innovator. We'll explore the creative tensions that led to his departure, the risks he took to follow his passion, and the incredible empire he's built away from the cameras. Here's what really happened behind the scenes at Gas Monkey Garage, and it's not what you think. While fans speculated about dramatic feuds and explosive arguments, the truth was actually more subtle and in many ways more heartbreaking for someone with Aaron's artistic soul. Aaron Kaufman had reached a creative ceiling at Gas Monkey Garage, and it was slowly suffocating his passion for automotive artistry. Imagine being Michelangelo but only being allowed to paint by numbers. That's essentially what Aaron was experiencing during his final years on Fast and Loud. The show's format demanded quick turnarounds, flashy builds, and dramatic moments for television.
Throttle and brake. Get after it. Turn in and brake. Keep on the gas.
I'd never set foot in a all-wheel drive car and attempted to push it around a corner sideways.
But Aaron's heart was pulling him towards something entirely different. The breaking point came when Aaron realized he wanted to tackle massive, complex projects that could take months or even years to complete properly. These weren't the kind of builds that fit into a television production schedule. He envisioned creating automotive masterpieces that pushed the boundaries of engineering and design, projects that required meticulous attention to detail and unlimited creative freedom. But the show needed content, and content meant compromising on the very things that made Aaron passionate about his craft. Richard Rawlings, while supportive in many ways, was running a business and a television show. The pressure to deliver episodes on schedule meant that builds had to be completed within specific time frames, often forcing Aaron to take shortcuts or abandon innovative ideas that didn't fit the production calendar. This wasn't anyone's fault. It was simply the reality of reality television. Aaron described feeling limited by the restricted build opportunities at GMG. Every project had to serve multiple masters: the client, the television audience, the network executives, and the production schedule. There was little room for the kind of experimental, boundary-pushing work that Aaron craved. He wanted to explore vintage Ford F-Series trucks from the 1950s through 1970s, diving deep into their mechanical DNA and creating modern interpretations that honored their heritage while incorporating cutting-edge performance modifications. The decision to leave wasn't made lightly. Aaron had built his reputation and fan base through Fast and Loud, and walking away meant giving up financial security and widespread recognition. But he reached a point where staying would have meant betraying his artistic integrity. He later explained that he primarily left Gas Monkey Garage because of creative differences. But this simple statement barely scratches the surface of the internal struggle he faced. What made the decision even more difficult was his genuine respect for Richard Rawlings and the Gas Monkey team. These weren't bitter enemies parting ways, they were collaborators who had simply grown in different directions. Aaron wanted to be an automotive artist, the show needed him to be an automotive entertainer. Both roles have value, but they require different approaches and different compromises. The final straw came when Aaron realized he was spending more time thinking about television production than automotive innovation. When a master craftsman finds himself more concerned with camera angles than craftsmanship, it's time for a change. And that's exactly what Aaron decided to pursue. What Aaron Kaufman built after leaving Fast and Loud is nothing short of extraordinary, and most people have no idea how successful he's become. In late 2017, while fans were still wondering where their favorite bearded mechanic had disappeared to, Aaron was quietly establishing what would become one of the most respected custom fabrication shops in the country, ArcLight Fabrication. Located in Dallas, Texas, ArcLight Fabrication represents everything Aaron couldn't achieve under the constraints of reality television. This isn't just another custom shop, it's a temple to automotive perfection where time, quality, and innovation take precedence over everything else. Aaron finally had the freedom to pursue the kinds of projects that had been haunting his dreams during those final years at Gas Monkey Garage. The shop specializes in vintage Ford F-Series trucks, particularly those manufactured between 1950 and 1979, but calling them restorations would be an insult to Aaron's vision. These are complete reimaginings of classic American workhorses, transformed into modern performance machines while maintaining their timeless aesthetic appeal. Every vehicle that leaves ArcLight Fabrication is a testament to what happens when unlimited creativity meets uncompromising craftsmanship. Aaron's approach at ArcLight is revolutionary in its simplicity. Take as much time as needed to do the job right. No network deadlines, no production schedules, no compromises for the sake of television drama. Each build can take months or even years to complete, allowing Aaron and his carefully selected team of skilled mechanics and fabricators to explore every possibility and perfect every detail. The results speak for themselves. ArcLight's builds aren't just vehicles. They're rolling works of art that seamlessly blend vintage charm with modern performance. Aaron incorporates carefully chosen upgrades and modifications that enhance both the aesthetic appeal and mechanical performance of these classic trucks. We're talking about vehicles that look like they rolled off the assembly line in 1965 but perform like they were engineered in 2024. What makes ArcLight truly special is Aaron's commitment to preserving the legacy of these classic vehicles while bringing them into the modern age. He's not just slapping modern engines into old bodies, he's reimagining what these trucks could have been if they had access to today's technology and materials. Every modification serves a purpose, whether it's improving performance, enhancing reliability, or simply making the vehicle more enjoyable to drive. The shop operates with a philosophy that would have been impossible to maintain on Fast and Loud: perfection over profit, artistry over entertainment, and long-term reputation over short-term gains. Aaron has assembled a team that shares his passion for excellence, creating an environment where innovation thrives and compromises are unnecessary. Despite moving to a different location within Dallas, ArcLight Fabrication continues to operate as Aaron's automotive laboratory, where he can finally pursue the kinds of projects that originally inspired him to become a mechanic. The shop has become a destination for automotive enthusiasts who want something truly special, not just another custom build, but a piece of automotive art that will be treasured for generations. Just when fans thought Aaron Kaufman had disappeared from television forever, he made a triumphant return, but this time he was calling the shots. Aaron's post-Fast and Loud television career proves that sometimes the best revenge is massive success, and his new shows demonstrate exactly what he was capable of when freed from the constraints that had frustrated him at Gas Monkey Garage. Shifting Gears with Aaron Kaufman premiered as Aaron's first major television project after leaving Fast and Loud, and it was everything fans had hoped for and more. This wasn't just another car show, it was Aaron's vision finally brought to life. The show featured him traveling across the country with a hand-picked team of mechanics and fabricators, searching for complex builds that would have been impossible to tackle within the Fast and Loud format. What made Shifting Gears revolutionary was its approach to automotive television. Instead of rushing through builds for dramatic effect, Aaron took the time to properly explore each project's challenges and possibilities. Viewers got to see the real process of high-level automotive fabrication, complete with the setbacks, breakthroughs, and creative problem-solving that define genuine craftsmanship. The show received positive reviews from critics who appreciated its authentic approach to automotive content. Unfortunately, despite its quality and positive reception, only 2 seasons of Shifting Gears were produced. This highlights one of the harsh realities of television production. Sometimes the best shows don't get the recognition they deserve, but for Aaron, the experience proved that he could successfully transition from supporting cast member to leading man, creating content that reflected his true passion and expertise. Aaron's second television venture, Aaron Needs a Job, showcased a completely different side of his personality and skills. In this show, Aaron deliberately stepped outside his comfort zone, taking on projects and challenges that weren't specifically within his mechanical expertise. The concept was brilliant in its simplicity. What happens when you take someone with Aaron's problem-solving abilities and mechanical intuition and drop them into unfamiliar situations? The show followed Aaron as he traveled across the United States, connecting with the men and women who keep America's automotive industry running. From small-town repair shops to specialized manufacturing facilities, Aaron immersed himself in different aspects of the automotive world, learning new skills while sharing his own expertise. His enthusiasm and natural affinity for anything with wheels gave him a significant advantage, even when tackling unfamiliar challenges. What made Aaron Needs a Job particularly engaging was watching Aaron's genuine curiosity and respect for different automotive trades and specialties. Instead of positioning himself as the expert teaching others, he approached each situation as a student eager to learn. This humility, combined with his obvious expertise, created compelling television that showcased the diversity and complexity of America's automotive ecosystem. Sadly, only 1 season of Aaron Needs a Job was produced, consisting of just several episodes. While fans were disappointed by the show's brief run, it served its purpose in demonstrating Aaron's versatility and his ability to connect with automotive professionals across different specialties and backgrounds. Behind the beard and the grease-stained work clothes, Aaron Kaufman leads a fascinating personal life that most fans never get to see. While he's always been relatively private about his personal affairs, the details that have emerged paint a picture of a man who's as thoughtful and deliberate in his relationships as he is in his automotive work. Aaron has been in a committed relationship with Lauren Moore Knobb since 2013, and their partnership represents a modern approach to love and companionship that defies traditional expectations. Lauren works as a personal assistant and producer on various projects, making her uniquely qualified to understand the demands and pressures of Aaron's career. She even made an appearance on television in 2014, giving fans a rare glimpse into Aaron's world outside the garage. What makes their relationship particularly interesting is how they've chosen to structure their life together. They share their Dallas home with 2 dogs, Lola and Bastian, whom they treat like their own children. This choice reflects Aaron's current priorities. He's mentioned that he works 80 hours a week and barely has time for anything else, making traditional family planning impractical at this stage of his career. Aaron and Lauren's approach to their relationship exemplifies modern partnership at its best. They're not dependent on each other in the traditional sense, but rather interdependent, supporting each other's individual goals and ambitions while building a life together. Lauren is incredibly supportive of Aaron's career, frequently praising his work ethic and creativity on social media, while also actively participating in his business ventures and accompanying him to car events and shows. Their shared love of travel has taken them to some incredible destinations, including New Zealand, Iceland, Mexico, and Hawaii. These adventures, frequently documented on social media, show a side of Aaron that fans rarely see: relaxed, playful, and genuinely enjoying life outside the garage. These trips also serve as important breaks from Aaron's intense work schedule, providing the mental and physical restoration necessary for someone who pushes himself as hard as he does. What's particularly refreshing about Aaron and Lauren's relationship is their rejection of societal pressure to follow traditional relationship milestones. Despite being together for over a decade, they haven't married, and they seem perfectly content with their arrangement. They've created their own definition of commitment and partnership, one that works for their unique circumstances and personalities. Aaron's fashion sense reflects his practical, no-nonsense approach to life. He favors jeans and t-shirts that can handle the grease and grime of garage work, occasionally adding flannel shirts or hoodies when the weather demands it, or when he wants to add some color to his look. His signature thick beard and often messy hair give him an instantly recognizable appearance that fans associate with authenticity and craftsmanship. The fact that Aaron keeps much of his personal life private isn't accidental. It's a deliberate choice that allows him to maintain some normalcy despite his public profile. This privacy has served him well, allowing him to focus on his work and relationships without the constant scrutiny that often comes with reality television fame. What many fans don't realize is that Aaron Kaufman's talents extend far beyond the garage and into the high-octane world of competitive motorsports. His racing adventures reveal another dimension of his automotive expertise and showcase his willingness to put his skills to the ultimate test against both the clock and other competitors. Aaron's most famous racing exploit took place at the legendary Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, one of the most challenging and dangerous motorsport events in the world. Driving a heavily modified 1963 Ford Falcon that he had personally built, Aaron tackled the treacherous mountain roads that have claimed countless vehicles and tested the limits of even the most experienced drivers. This wasn't just a publicity stunt. It was a genuine test of both his engineering skills and his courage behind the wheel. The Falcon he built for Pikes Peak was a masterpiece of automotive engineering, featuring a 363cc Ford Boss V8 engine capable of generating over 500 horsepower. Every component was carefully selected and modified to handle the unique challenges of the hill climb, from the thin air at high altitude to the demanding combination of tight corners and high-speed straights. The fact that Aaron not only built this machine but also had the skill to drive it competitively speaks volumes about his comprehensive understanding of automotive performance. But Aaron's racing adventures didn't stop with Pikes Peak. In September 2015, he participated in the Speed Energy Formula Off-Road Stadium Super Truck Series, driving a Toyota-sponsored truck at the Sand Sports Super Show in Costa Mesa, California. This was completely different from hill climbing. Stadium truck racing requires split-second decision-making, aggressive driving, and the ability to handle massive jumps and rough terrain at high speeds. During his weekend of competition, Aaron participated in 2 rounds, finishing 5th in both of his heat races before placing 10th and 8th in the feature races. While these might not sound like championship-level results, they are actually quite impressive for someone who was primarily known as a builder rather than a driver. The fact that he could compete at this level demonstrates the depth of his automotive knowledge and his natural feel for vehicle dynamics. One particularly memorable moment occurred when Aaron's truck partially went over a K-rail during one of the races. Instead of being embarrassed by the incident, Aaron took it in stride, and his fellow driver Robbie Gordon humorously remarked that it was some of the worst driving he had ever seen. This comment, while playful, actually highlighted Aaron's fearless approach to competition and his willingness to push boundaries even when the results weren't perfect. Aaron's return to Pikes Peak with his powerful 1949 Ford F1, affectionately known as Old Smoky, confirmed his position as a serious competitor in the motorsport community. This wasn't just about building cool cars for television. This was about proving that his creations could perform at the highest levels of competition. These racing adventures serve as the perfect complement to Aaron's fabrication work, providing real-world testing grounds for his engineering theories and giving him first-hand experience with the performance characteristics of his builds. While most people know Aaron Kaufman as the bearded mechanic from Fast and Loud, few realize that he's quietly built a diversified business empire that extends far beyond his Dallas fabrication shop. His entrepreneurial success story is a masterclass in leveraging expertise, reputation, and strategic partnerships to create multiple revenue streams in the automotive industry. At the center of Aaron's business empire is ArcLight Fabrication, but the company is much more than just a custom shop. Aaron has developed a sophisticated operation that includes aftermarket parts manufacturing, specifically focusing on Ford F-Series pickup components. This isn't just about building one-off custom vehicles. Aaron has identified market gaps and created products that serve the broader community of vintage Ford enthusiasts who want to upgrade their trucks with modern performance and reliability improvements. The parts business represents a brilliant strategic move that most people overlook. While custom builds generate impressive profit margins, they're limited by time and labor constraints. Aaron can only build so many vehicles per year, but parts manufacturing scales differently. Once Aaron develops a superior component or system, he can produce it in quantities that serve hundreds or thousands of customers, creating recurring revenue streams that don't require his personal involvement in every transaction. Aaron's role as a brand ambassador for MagnaFlow exhaust systems adds another layer to his business portfolio. This partnership isn't just about endorsement fees, it's about maintaining connections to industry innovation and ensuring that his builds incorporate the latest technological advancements. These relationships also provide valuable insights into market trends and customer preferences that inform his product development decisions. The television work, while perhaps less frequent than his Fast and Loud days, continues to provide significant income and maintain his public profile. Industry sources suggest that Aaron earned approximately $50,000 per episode during his Fast and Loud tenure, and his subsequent shows likely commanded similar or higher rates, given his proven track record and creative control. Given with limited seasons, this represents substantial income that supports his other business ventures. Aaron's approach to business reflects the same methodical thinking he applies to automotive builds. He's not chasing quick profits or flashy opportunities, he's building sustainable enterprises that leverage his core competencies while creating long-term value. The decision to focus on vintage Ford trucks wasn't arbitrary. It was a calculated choice based on market analysis, his personal expertise, and the availability of quality donor vehicles. What makes Aaron's business strategy particularly impressive is how he's managed to maintain authenticity while scaling his operations. Many automotive personalities struggle with the transition from craftsman to businessman, often losing the qualities that made them successful in the first place. Aaron has avoided this trap by staying directly involved in the creative and technical aspects of his businesses while building systems and teams that handle the operational details. The location of his operations in Dallas provides strategic advantages that many people don't consider. Texas has a strong automotive culture, relatively business-friendly regulations, and access to both skilled labor and transportation infrastructure. Aaron's decision to stay in Dallas rather than relocate to a more expensive market like California demonstrates his understanding of operational efficiency and cost management. Perhaps most importantly, Aaron has built his business empire without compromising the values that made him successful. Quality remains paramount, customer satisfaction drives decision-making, and innovation continues to be the primary differentiator. This approach may not generate the fastest growth, but it creates sustainable competitive advantages that are difficult for competitors to replicate. Aaron Kaufman's current projects represent the culmination of everything he's learned throughout his career, and what he's working on now will likely define the future of custom automotive fabrication. While he keeps many details under wraps, partly for competitive reasons and partly because he's learned the value of letting his work speak for itself, the glimpses we get into his current activities reveal an artist and engineer operating at the peak of his abilities. At ArcLight Fabrication, Aaron is pushing the boundaries of what's possible when time and budget constraints are removed from the equation. His current builds represent years of development and refinement, incorporating lessons learned from decades of hands-on experience with everything from basic restorations to cutting-edge performance modifications. These aren't just vehicles, they're statements about what American automotive craftsmanship can achieve when it's allowed to flourish without compromise. One of Aaron's most intriguing current focuses involves the integration of modern technology with vintage aesthetics in ways that weren't possible even 5 years ago. We're talking about incorporating advanced engine management systems, modern safety features, and contemporary comfort amenities into vehicles that maintain their classic visual appeal. This requires not just mechanical expertise, but also a deep understanding of electronics, materials science, and manufacturing processes. Aaron's approach to these modern integrations is characteristically thoughtful. Rather than simply bolting modern components into old vehicles, he's developing custom solutions that feel like they could have been original equipment if the technology had existed decades ago. This attention to authenticity while embracing innovation represents the kind of forward-thinking approach that separates true craftsmen from mere mechanics. The influence of Aaron's racing experience is clearly visible in his current work. The lessons learned from building and driving competition vehicles have informed his approach to street builds, resulting in vehicles that not only look spectacular, but also perform at levels that would have been unimaginable when these trucks originally rolled off the assembly line. We're talking about vintage Ford trucks that can outperform modern sports cars while maintaining their classic work truck appearance. Aaron's current client base represents a significant evolution from his Fast and Loud days. Instead of working with television producers and their artificial deadlines, he's now serving discerning collectors and enthusiasts who understand the value of true craftsmanship and are willing to wait for perfection. These clients aren't just buying vehicles, they're commissioning automotive art pieces that will be treasured for generations. The waiting list for Aaron's custom builds reportedly extends years into the future, a testament to both his reputation and his refusal to compromise quality for quantity. This backlog allows him to be extremely selective about projects, choosing only those that genuinely excite him and offer opportunities to explore new techniques or push creative boundaries. Perhaps most exciting is Aaron's role in mentoring the next generation of automotive craftsmen. Through his work at ArcLight Fabrication, he's developing techniques and approaches that will influence custom fabrication for decades to come. The young mechanics and fabricators who work with Aaron today are learning not just technical skills, but also the philosophy and approach that separate true artisans from ordinary workers. Aaron Kaufman's journey from Fast and Loud fame to independent automotive artistry proves that sometimes the biggest risks lead to the greatest rewards. What started as a difficult decision to leave television success has evolved into something far more meaningful, a legacy of craftsmanship that will influence the automotive world for generations to come. From his creative differences with Richard Rawlings to building ArcLight Fabrication into one of the most respected custom shops in the country, Aaron has shown that authenticity and excellence always triumph over compromise and shortcuts. His racing adventures, television comebacks, and business success all stem from the same core principle: never settle for anything less than your best work. The bearded wonder who once transformed rust buckets on reality TV has become something even more impressive, a master craftsman who's redefining what's possible in automotive fabrication. While we may not see him on television as often, his influence on the industry continues to grow through every vehicle that rolls out of ArcLight Fabrication. What's your favorite Aaron Kaufman build? Are you more impressed by his Fast and Loud creations or his current ArcLight Fabrication masterpieces? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing from fellow automotive enthusiasts. If you enjoyed discovering the truth about Aaron Kaufman's incredible journey, make sure you're subscribed for more deep dives into the automotive world's most fascinating personalities. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video, where we'll explore what happened to another Fast and Loud favorite who disappeared from the spotlight. And if you want to see more stories about automotive legends who took control of their own destinies, check out the video on screen now about another mechanic who left reality TV to build something even better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.